protest groups, far-left groups, are now warning that they will continue to riot. Those riots won't stop. They'll continue for the next 2 months, through and during the election, even after the election. They targeted nearly 24 cities across the country, hit with street action this weekend. This is also happening, news coming in. The entire command team for the Rochester Police Department has reportedly stepped down amid unrest there. Let's welcome former Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker back with us. It's great to have you back on. Your thoughts on all of this?
Well, I know two things. One is that Americans want their children to be able to play safely in their front yards, and they also want to be able to dine, especially outside in this moment of the pandemic, safely without being confronted on the street. And, you know, we're not, Joe Biden's America, neither one of those appear to be possible, and his supporters clearly are trying to disrupt, sort of normal Americans going about their every day. And it's concerning, and I would expect that really candidates on both sides and really Americans on all sides would condemn this. And this is confrontation is not the American way. We settle things diplomatically. We settle things in a civil manner. And this, what we're seeing across our cities, can just not stand. We need law and order.
But now we're going to have it through the election, according to the protest groups. The protests have morphed into violent riots. Riots leave scars that last for decades. Communities don't recover for generations. Law enforcement investigating rioters attacking diners, as you pointed out, in restaurants in cities like Pittsburgh and Rochester, smashing tables, harassing patrons, innocent people, including senior citizens. And we had 50 rioters arrested after they stormed through Portland this weekend, throwing Molotov cocktails at cops, and also now we have 102 nights of riots in Portland. How does looting, arson, attacking innocent Americans, attacking innocent businesses, how does that persuade voters to their point of view?
I don't think it does, and I think what it actually does is it instills fear, and it instills, a sense of disorganization. But you know, if you look at these cities, they're run by Democrats. That have debilitated and handcuffed the police officers. And you just mentioned the Rochester Police Command that is not willing to do this anymore. If they're not allowed to do their jobs, police, unfortunately, are not going to participate. And we're seeing that across cities. We're seeing it, and just it cannot stand, Liz. And we really, Americans are crying out, and I hear it every day, that they want law and order, that they want their communities safe for their children and, for their grandparents.
You know, Americans, the polls show Americans don't want mobs coming to their communities and destroying their towns. The mayor of Rochester is reportedly saying she doesn't know who's in control. This is a dangerous development now happening in Rochester after police asphyxiating Daniel Prude there. Elected officials, this is what the riots are about there. Elected officials increasingly blame, though, that rioters are coming in from out of town. The mayor of Rochester is saying just that. Watch this.
Our ability to serve the residents of our city on a daily basis depends on the services that are held within that building. We have to protect it. There is credible information that outside agitators want to destroy the PSB.
So also this happened in Kenosha, sir. The majority of people arrested in riots in Kenosha came from 44 cities outside the state. Is this the underlying story that needs to be reported more, that these are agitators, anarchists pouring in to these cities to do unrest?
No, it does need to be told, Liz. You saw there was a shipment of gas masks and fireworks that was intercepted on its way to Kenosha. You're seeing outside groups this mayor identifies in Rochester, New York. Obviously, the heart, the breadbasket of this whole movement is in Portland, where we've seen over 100 nights of unrest. This is a loosely organized but organized group of Antifa and anarchists that are trying to essentially tear down our cities, to make people feel unsafe, to riot and cause complete anarchy. Like you reported, they're going to continue through the election. And really, it's a time to choose. Do you want law and order, Do you want the governors and mayors to call out the National Guard, or do you want to keep seeing in these liberal cities a feckless political leadership that's unwilling to take control of the streets and to end this anarchy?
Yeah, we looked at research out of Princeton and Harvard and Stanford about fascism. This is the poisonous rhetoric that's sluicing through these rioters' ideology. They believe that America is a fascist country, and historians keep pointing out these rioters have no idea what it's like to truly live under a fascist regime that America is not fascist at all. So this poisonous ideology is sort of warping their mentality and what is going on in the streets across the country. And on top of this, sir, hundreds more, there's violence too, there's chaos and violence happening in U.S. cities. Hundreds more in a cop shot to death in line of duty in St. Louis. In Chicago, 8-year-old girl shot dead, one of 53 shot in Chicago this weekend. Again, more chaos in Chicago, more people dying, 8 people dying. And a 6-year-old boy was shot in the leg among 5 people injured in a shooting in Brooklyn. You know, people don't want mob violence or chaos in their communities. Let's listen to Attorney General William Barr saying the media reporting on this has been wrong and flawed and misleading the American people, that the idea that this is all peaceful demonstrators is a lie, because these peaceful demonstrations are morphing into riots. That's the truth. Watch A.G. Barr.
That's happening in front of people. You don't see it on any of the national news. You don't see it on the networks. You don't see it on the other cable stations. And yet you hear about these peaceful demonstrators. So it's a lie. The American people are being told a lie by the media.
Okay, so we also have DOJ arresting more than 2,000 year-to-date in riots. Your reaction to A.G. Barr there, sir?
Yeah, Bill Barr is absolutely right. I mean, anytime you read the chyron, which is the bottom of the scroll, or identifying what the speaker's saying, I remember one on CNN saying fiery, mostly peaceful demonstrations. These are not peaceful demonstrators. Obviously, they are using Molotov cocktails. They're exploding fireworks. They are, really trying to enter into confrontations with law enforcement. These are not peaceful protesters. And, we are a country that obviously is built on the people's ability to speak out and to protest. But once it gets into violent mobs, anarchy, riots being declared on our nation's streets, that's where we've crossed the line. And I think, General Barr is absolutely right. The media is not reporting that by and large across all of the outlets, the mainstream newspapers and television especially. And I think it's doing the American people a disservice. I know everywhere I go, whether it's Iowa, my home state, whether it's Florida, whether it's our nation's capital, and I see this firsthand. I talk to people. They want law and order. They want their children to be able to play safely in their front yards, and we're just not seeing that in places like Chicago and Rochester and Portland and elsewhere. And these mayors and these governors need to get control of these communities. They need to employ good policing. They need to put people in jail.
Matthew Whitaker, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, sir. Come back soon.
Thank you, Liz. I always enjoy it.